You know, in this explanation of a wavy flag, I thought I'd work backwards and give you the conclusion up front. To me, it just seems easier to explain it better. What we're going to do to make the wavy flag, any kind of wavy flag, really, we're going to start by drawing this vector first. Then we're going to draw this vector second. And the way we do that is we create an offset plane. You can see that's the flag. It might be a little long, but that's okay. But we create this offset plane from this plane. So we're going to be drawing on this plane and this plane. If I turn the construction plane off, this plane and this plane, you'll see that they are separated by about 13 inches. Okay, and after we do that, we're going to see these purple dots. We're going to draw on this plane right here. Basically the bottom. Let me cut this construction planes off. This plane right here. On that plane, this plane right here, we're going to create these lines. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3 planes. Now, these lines need to be touching these lines, these vectors. When I say lines, I mean vectors. They have to connect for our loft to work. And if you look at this drawing, you'll see it's connected here and here, here and here. And if we go over here, here and here. So they have to be touching. And the way we do that is we have to project these curves, their intersection points, which are all these purple lines, to this plane, because that's where they're touching, and that way if they're touching we can connect them. That's the whole trick of this, is the intersection points of these lines to this plane. Alright, so once we do that, we can loft. Here, let's go back in time. That's why it's called parametric. And edit the loft feature. And you'll notice the loft feature we're using is in the surface workspace. Now, just to give you, again, I'm working backwards. Let's take these rails off. Deleting them, and look how it changes. It's very, very simple. The loft is connecting this line and this line. That's all it's doing. But once we enter these guide rails into the equation, it changes the wind flow look. Okay, so let's cut that body on, and then after that we're going to extrude the profile of this surface loft. We're going to extrude to that surface loft. And it looks like this. Now, I'm going to extent type 2 object. Now let's just say I went distance. That's extruding just straight on up. That doesn't do us any good. But if we extrude to an object, select the object, it extrudes to that object. And now we have a solid, and that's what we want. I'm going to cut this top body off here so we can see what the finished product looks like. I can cut the sketches off and the origin off, and that's what it's going to end up looking. Alright, so let's start from scratch. We're going to take a new design. Alright, we're going to cut our origin on. We're going to create a sketch right here on front. Okay, so I'm going to create sketch right here. Okay, I'm going to use a construction line just to give me an idea of how far I want to go. I'm going to go about 24 inches. Check it off. I'm going to hit escape. And now I'm going to use a fixed point spline. And I want to avoid the origin point as a starting point because I don't want it to get stuck to any particular points or anything. I'm just going to start drawing my waves. Make them a little further apart down here. And check it off. Okay, so there they are. Nothing great. So I'm going to hit escape to get out of fixed point spline. And notice I made a mistake. They're construction. I don't want them construction. So I'm going to pick the line and click off of construction. They're too wavy. So what I can do, I can just pick all these top points and then move them down. And look, I can move them this way a little bit. And that gives me a cool wave looking effect. Alright, I'm going to pull this one down a little bit. And I'm going to pull this one down a little bit. I can always add new points. I can just right click and hit insert fit point spline. Hit that. You got to hit it twice and there it is. Got to hit escape though to get out of that. So now I can move an individual spline if I want. So I can go over 24, it doesn't matter. So there we go, that's a decent looking wave. I might want to pull this stuff back this way if I want. And maybe make them a little tighter down here towards the bottom, towards the left of the flag. It doesn't matter. You can spend days on this if you want. I can delete this point too if I want. That'll give me a more smooth point, curve, vector. Again, you can play with this forever. So I'm going to finish this sketch. And there's my first line. So now we have to do an offset plane. So we can do the other side, the bottom. So I'm going to go construction, offset plane, pick this one, and then drag this out about 12, 13 inches. It says -13, but whatever. It's 13 inches away from the other one. So I just hit OK. I'm going to right click on it, hit create sketch. So there we go. Now, there's our other drawing 12 inches away. And I want to make another similar curve to this. I don't want it exact, and I don't want to click on these lines because that's going to cause problems. That'll give us a projected point to this plane. And we don't want to get into all that right now. So avoid the line and avoid these dots when you're making your second set of curves using a fit point spline. So let's just stay away from them and get similar to these. And if I mess up like that, just hit back. Okay, we're done. Okay, but we did get a projected, this curve projected over here. See that in purple? We don't want that line. See the purple one? That's a duplicate of this. We're just going to kill it. So now we have two different curves representing the flag. Now we can go over the surface if we want and just see what's going to happen when we do this loft. So if I pick this and this, boom, there it is. Alright, let's just keep it and I'll show you some a little trick. So there it is. We're going to cut it off and not look at it here for a second. So we're going to go to bodies and just turn it off. Go to sketches, but turn those on. Now we want to create the wind flow look. So we're going to create a sketch, right click, create sketch. And the first thing we have to do is we have to project these intersections. So we're going to go to project, include, intersect. I'm going to click this line and this line. Hit OK. And now see all these little purple dots? That's our intersection. That's where these lines are hitting this plane. So now we have a method to connect our windblown look. We're still in the sketch. So I'm just going to fit point spline again. I'm going to start. Well, we can go this way. We can go any way we want. We can put 2, 3, 4, as many as we want. Check it off. If we don't like something, we kill it. I don't like this line. No, I don't like this one. So I go redo it. Check it off. Now let's see what we got. All right, you'll notice that the sketch we're on is right here, and that's past our loft. We can slide that sketch right to the left. And now we just moved it in time, basically. So now we're going to right-click on this and hit Edit Feature. Now we're going to add these guide rails. So we're going to add this one and this one. Look how that's changed. And if you don't like the look of it, kill them, redo it. Go in here, edit sketch, kill this line, put a new one in. But we've got to start and end on these purple dots. Make another one. I could have it come out more like this if I wanted. I think I hit that purple dot. Pretty sure I did. And we can keep going if we want. And now we go back to our edit feature, right click, edit feature, add the guide rails. And that looks like a pretty decent flag to me. Body cut off for some reason. So that's not too bad. Now you can always edit this stuff on the fly if you want. Like I can pull this down. Whoops, didn't like it. Oh, it changed it. No, you can't do that. So let's just go back until our warning goes away. Now what we can do is go back to the sketches and edit these. Like if all of them are too tall, I can pull them down a little bit. Okay, it broke. Well, sometimes breaking things is good. Now, what could have caused that? The only thing that really could have caused that is if we forgot to hit project link. So let's take off this body. Let's go back to this sketch. I don't see a problem. Alright, now let's go look at this. Okay, look, it broke right here. Some reason it broke. See that? And it's good to know this stuff. So we got to go fix it. Now how do we do that? Let's cut that sketch on. And we're going to edit the sketch. Because you will have problems. This stuff isn't perfect. And sometimes I don't know if it's me that made the mistake or what. So if I finish sketch, alright, we've got another break somewhere. Okay, let's edit the feature. And this one broke. So at least we know where the break is. And we still have a break. I mean, we can actually go look at them. And look, it went away. So now if we cut our body back on, we can see it's fixed. So you're going to get error messages. And when you do, read the message. It's going to tell you. And usually when you look for that error, it'll give you saw those red dots, it'll show you where the error is. I don't know everything about Fusion. This thing is crazy. But I've gotten pretty good at finding ways to fix things. Now another thing that's cool is you can move this stuff around generally and see how it looks while you're not in edit mode. And we can get it to break. Sometimes we can get it to break. Let's move this over there. Huh, this one's not breaking. It's usually when we go too far or do something that didn't make sense. But spend a lot of time on your first and second sketch getting those curves right, because that's where it usually breaks, is where this intersection happens between the ripples and the windblown look. Pull this down a little bit. Did it break? No, still good. Alright, so next, here, let's get this thing back a little bit better. This is a little bit too much. Well, look, it broke. Watch. See that? This thing broke. This thing shouldn't be able to move. Because it should be what's called a coincidence right there. It just shouldn't move. Alright, now we have to turn this thing into a solid. So we're going to create another sketch. And, well, first, let's put it in solid mode. We need another offset plane because we need some thickness to this thing. So I'm going to pick this. I'm going to go to construction, offset plane, and pick this because I need a body underneath of all this. I need at least an inch. Okay, so we'll just say okay. So I'm going to create a sketch on here, and I'm going to say create project this. that well, that outline of that surface. Now, here's another tricky spot. I'm going to finish this sketch. Sometimes it works fine, sometimes it don't. I'm going to extrude that profile, to an object, and this object here. Well, it worked that time. A lot of times you're going to get an error that this profile is too big to fit under that body. So I like it. I can say okay. So now we have our flag. It looks rough. That's because we still had the skin on it, the surface. Take that off, and then we have our flag. Now, if you're a Vectric user and want to use this in your model, you would export it. You know, name this something like, you know, flag 24 or whatever. You'd right click and save as mesh, and high quality, STL is good, millimeter, whatever. It's going to export it. And I'm going to call it flag. I'm going to save it to my computer in January 24, and I'll just hit save. Okay, so now we have that model out there. And we can easily bring it into Vectric. And let me just show you how to do that real quick. Here's the spire. Okay. And let's file new, and 25 by 14. That's good. Okay. Model, import, component, flag 24. That's the one we just did. There it is. You can see it's way too big. We can put this in millimeters, and it looks like it's going to fit in there pretty good. And then we're going to center it. And it might be a little too big, but that's okay. You know, we can scale it down if we want. We can make this, you know, lock them all. Let's make this 28. Hit apply. Whoa. Turn it to inches. Oh, what do we make it 20? Oh, let's make it 25. Let's see what it looks like. Hit apply. Okay. Hit center it, and then hit OK. And there's our model. Now, it looks a little tall and heavy to me. Looks pretty big. Oh, we must edit job size and position. We don't want double side. We want single side. And hit OK. And that model height is a little bit big. So an easy way to fix that is just go here, flag, double click, and just reduce this height. And if I get it real skinny, you know, you won't hardly even see it. But I can, and if I want a bigger base, I can just add the base to it. So it looks like that. So whatever you want to do. That's the cool thing about these two tools. They interact with each other pretty good. So, and then once you get your flag in here, your vectors, your DXF, whatever, a good thing to use if you want to get close to matching this shape is your distort tool. That's it right there. And you can distort the whole thing. I've got another video somewhere out there about it. But anyway, that's the hard part to making that model. So anyway, let me know if you have any problems. I'll do my best to get with you. But thanks for watching.